So California just pulled off something truly remarkable. They found a way to make a debate undebatable. At the University of Southern California, they had a gubernatorial debate lined up, and then disaster struck. The candidates who qualified were all white. So what did they do? The only thing they could do, they called the whole thing off. Yeah, Cali showed its commitment to equity by canceling a debate because the only candidates that qualified were Caucasian. It's also the same reason Kim Kardashian walked out of speed dating. So airlines they're like airlines now that put diversity above merit. California just decided to crash and burn. Apparently, debate organizers wanted candidates that looked like the latest Star Trek series. And when wokesters don't get the result they want, then they make sure no one else can play. So as if on cue, critics said the debate lineup wasn't representative enough. An excluded candidate said the process was chilling and dangerous. Another said the voters were being denied all qualified voices, which is the opposite of what happened. They picked the qualified instead of using DEI as the excuse to have their thumb on the scale. You know, and here I used to think voters decided whose voices qualified, but I'm also one of those jerks who believed in a southern border and two sexes. I just can't evolve, no matter how much European soccer I watch. Now, with the primary a couple of months away, voters will be left guessing, much like Brian Kilmeade when asked to describe a woman's breast. And of course, the media led the charge by saying nothing. When the debate got canceled, they were as quiet as me when I eavesdrop in the women's bathroom. Ugh. It's great. When I sit on the toilet, they can't see my feet. Now, nobody said the rules were unfair. In fact, they were described as data-driven. That's right, it was mathematical. But to the left, math is racist, but discriminating against white candidates isn't. So as usual, this wasn't about a fair or accurate process. It was about the message that the lineup on stage sent. And once the complaints started, the pressure mounted, the boycotts were threatened, USC folded faster than a hotel maid with a meth problem. Understand, mind you, USC didn't reschedule or revise the debate. Nope, they hung their heads in shame, like a guest in a kitchen when Chris Hansen walks in. Who hasn't been there? And what of that debate, the once vaunted airing of political positions that are so essential to a free and fair election? It was over before it began. Now the candidates' only way to get their word out in California is by shaving it into their back hair and going rollerblading. Now think about that, a university running for cover rather than standing on principle, which our universities today never hesitate to invoke when it comes to Trump or ICE. USC simply tapped out like a straight man watching The Bachelorette. Tells you everything. They'd rather have clueless voters than field a team of white guys. It's probably the same reason LA burned to the ground. It's called lowering the standards out of so-called fairness. So we've arrived at a place where DEI doesn't just shape the workplace, it shapes elections. Instead of persuading voters, they pressure institutions to abide. At USC, an overpriced institution of higher learning, just cowardly validated this dodge. And when an institution like USC caves to this crap this fast, it sends a message louder than any debate ever could. Appearances are what matter, which kind of makes perfect sense. After all, it is the home of Hollywood, the world of make-believe, whether you're talking political ideas or tits. Let's welcome tonight's guests. The G in her last name is the only part of her that's silent. Co-host of Outnumbered, Emily Campagno. People see him and say, that looks like a homeless Jamie Kennedy. Actor and comedian Jamie Kennedy. For her, the camera adds 10 frowns. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News Chamber Cat Tibbs. And he puts more old ladies in a twist than Chubby Checker, former NWA world champion, host of the Planet Timer podcast, Tyrus. So, Emily, this is kind of interesting. Today, a poll was released by the California Democratic Party that found that leading the candidates are two Republicans, Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco. A Chad, Cat, a Chad. So that means if it finishes first and second, they're the ones who advance, meaning there's only Republican candidates for governor. Could this be why they canceled the debate, because they didn't know what else to do?
Yeah, the implications for this are so huge. So just to set the scene, in California, they have a jungle primary. So it's not based on party whatsoever. Whoever just gets the top 2 amount of the votes gets to proceed.
Jungle primary?
Yeah, that's what they call it. I know. Literally.
It's a little racist.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I didn't make it up.
Sure.
So the California Democratic Party conducting this poll and coming back with results that the top 2 by far are Sheriff Chad and Steve Hilton.
Sure.
Common Sense Fox News host tells you all you need to know, because who else was on that list? Javier Becerra was the Attorney General for California for like 10 years. He's one of the longest public servants of that state forever. Eric Swalwell, he's been wasting our taxpayer dollars as a congressman from California for like 15 years. So here, the Democrats of the state, my point is, are looking at this list and they're saying, who's going to be best for me? And they ignore all of the Dems that have been sucking up the oxygen in their state for so long and instead go with common sense, law enforcement citizens. And here's the thing, this is the whole point about this. 24% of Californians, according to this poll, are still undecided. So the argument is that you guys are going to self-dilute. You guys are going to self-own so hard because these guys' egos are so huge. None of them are going to get out. Swalwell will never say, I'm going to take it for the team and stand aside and let, Chunky Katie lead the rep, whatever. Nope. They are going to stay in and they're going to ruin it for the rest of the party. But for us who are from California, good riddance.
Yeah. And I agree. USC sucks.
Hey!
So, Jamie, I want to make an analogy that you would definitely understand. Imagine you're doing a movie project based on a historical event, but they kill it because there are no minorities in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's a historical event where, let's say, it's all white people. But they had to cancel it because it's not fair.
Yes. I mean, look, maybe there's no other candidates because they were worried that they would be running late.
I get it. I get it.
The half a black guy got that. Look, it's crazy that
I
there's...
can't tell if you meant that.
Yeah, right? That's acting. Maybe it's weird that there's no people of color in this debate, though, because right outside those USC walls, people are repping all sorts of colors.
Yeah.
Like red and blue.
Yeah, no, it's Watts, baby. And you
guys got to leave the suburbs to get these jokes. I'm just going to say, this would never happen at Howard University.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
It's a black university.
Thank you.
Black college and university.
Which, jeez.
Oh, I knew that it was a black university. I was just wondering, is this joke even deeper than I think?
No, which sounds like a black university, right? It's like, yo, where are you going, bro? Yeah, I'm going to Howard. Hey, yo, Howard. Hey, yo, Howard. All right, listen. It's going to be a long night here, guys.
I think we found the new rich boss.
That's hard to do.
So, Kat, what do you make of this debate? Like, canceling the debate? That is so cowardly.
Yeah, but also, really, you think there aren't enough Democrats being showcased already?
Yeah.
Like you guys talked about already, the top 2 are Republicans. It's also just such a weird thing. I don't know how Katie Porter does it after all the stuff that came out about her being like a potato-hurling rageaholic.
Yes.
For her to then come out, and she was, before they canceled it, she did this statement of word salad, kind of saying that condemning the process, as if the fact that she only ever threw scalding hot mashed potatoes at a white person somehow makes her on some kind of moral high ground. I wish, I almost wish I could understand it.
Yeah.
You would think that you would be like, you know what? I should have a little shame. I'm not in a position to judge people. As someone who's throwing hot food at my man.
Yeah, you don't want to throw hot food at your man. No. I'm excited about Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton used to have a show here on Sunday nights. Used to do our show, Tyrus. What do you make of this? Do you find it racist that there were only white people on that days?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw that, I was like, how far we have fallen.
Yes.
Like, man, Jesse Jackson just rolling over in his grave right now. Too soon? Now, listen, I'm more appalled at the behavior of the Democrat candidates, given the fact that, one, it was on stolen land. Two, they knew very well going in that they were all white, so they did it on purpose. They knew they were supposed to be representing the new era, and none of them actually are full of accomplishments. Swalwell's the one that just cracks me up. The fact that he even made the list is shocking and scary after everything he's not done, after the display of strength he showed the world, which is right up there with Mandami, and that's not something you want to be compared to when it comes to lifting weights. He's just over and over. They're all incompetent, but none of them, the difference, the Republicans are white and racist, and they're all about the best guy, so they're supposed to be there because they're just being what they are. But you four sons of bitches, I mean, your whole mission statement is that white people are the problem.
Yeah, so step aside.
Yeah, and I have a problem. And here's the thing. If you're going to throw vegetables at somebody, I feel like a potato is like the worst thing you could throw at somebody. You can, whether it's mashed or you can put somebody's eye out. I mean, that's assault. That's dangerous. Not like she threw a tomato.
Yeah.
You get hit with a tomato or a grape, yeah, it stains your clothes.
what's
But you can
interesting,
go on with your day. Potatoes kill.
If Swalwell could qualify as somewhat diverse because he did bang a Chinese spy.
Oh.
Remember?
I think he could leap ahead in the polls one way.
What?
Is if he just would admit to the fart.
Yes. The GI challenge.
If he said, you know what, America, and he does like a really formal sit-down interview and like, announces it ahead of time and he admits, yeah, I farted.
Yeah.
He had too much Chinese food the night before.
Yeah,
Gassy,
I could see that taking him far in this race.
By the way, Steve Hilton, it's not like he's really white. He's British.
That's original white.
That's white. That's the whitest
that's
you
as
can
white
get.
as it gets.
Oh,
Look at us all.
How crazy is it? How crazy is California? We have to bring in a Hungarian,
Right.
raised in England, studied in Canada to fix our state.
Exactly. And remember, who was the last great governor? Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. We're going to break now.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.